Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I'm your host, Nintendo fan, and welcome to my March 4th or 5th Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Floowandereeze deck profile. I went into a tournament with this deck today. The deck was decent, but the tournament results weren't that great, but that doesn't matter. What matters is you're gonna see a really great deck today. I really hope you enjoy, and enough talking, let's actually get to the deck. So, as always, we start our deck with double M-Pen. Let's put it like here, yeah. Double M-Pen. We start our deck with these guys. Then we get a Ryza. Then Apex Avian. After that, you have the staple in this deck. Triple dimension barrier. Not barrier. Dimension shifter. Then we get on to the small birds. We got 3 Egglen. Then we have 2 Stree. This is a real nice at 2. 1 is okay too, but I prefer 2 copies. Then we got Floowandereeze and Robina, one of the strongest birds in this deck. Then we get a single token. This is good for special. I don't know the words. Like, if you bench a card with the effect of map, you can use token to get that card back. After you use it, it's hard once per turn effect. Then we get DD Crow, really good card. Then we get to the spells and traps. We got 3 Extravagance. This card really helps you get the cards you need without wasting anything. Well, you do waste something, the extra deck, but it doesn't matter, you don't use the extra deck at all. We got the Terraforming, easy access to map. Then we got a new addition in this deck, which is a Gold Sark. See, it's a gold rare Gold Sark. Well, you can do like activate this. Let's say you have Eagle in your hand and you need a Robina, also this card in your hand. You activate it to bench Robina, then you normal summon Eagle and immediately get a free Robina, which is really good. Then we get triple Pulse Duality. Then we got triple Book of Moon. This is real good in both offensive and defensive. By defense, I mean like, let's say you summoned Eagle and then your opponent activates like Imperm or Veiler. You can chain Book of Moon to turn your Eagle face down. Did I say Eagle? I don't remember. To turn your card face down, so even if you get hit with a Veiler or Imperm, your effect will still go through. Also, let's say like your opponent got a big Xyz Synchro Link monster, not Link, Fusion Synchro Xyz monster on the field. When they attack, you can just use Book of Moon. I won a game like that today, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Then we have another staple called by Grave. Like, while you're playing a deck that dies to a single ash, this card is a must. Then we get Floowandereeze and Unexplored Winds. Really good form of removal. Really good. Then we get one of the best cards in the deck. Triple Floowandereeze and the Magnificent Map. Really good. Then let's get to the traps, shall we? We get Floowandereeze and Dreaming Town. But the traps ain't over. We got one of the best cards in the game, but heavily restricted. Triple Harpies Featherstorm. I said restrictive because it requires a wing base. But if you fulfill those conditions, really good card, negates any monster effects your opponent controls. Not like the whole board, not like the both players' monsters, just your opponent's. And it's a really easy condition to fulfill in this deck. I don't think you'll use a search effect. Like, it says an effect where if it's destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can add a Harpy's Feather Duster. But if you're gonna use that effect, it's a plus. Also, I don't have it here, but when I get it, I will get in a few days or weeks, I don't know yet. I will be getting a Dimensional Barrier, which is a really good card. Like, if you look at it, Impen shuts off the Link decks, and Dimensional Barrier shuts down the rest of decks like Fusion decks, Link decks, not Link decks, oh my god. Dimensional Barrier shuts down like Fusion decks, Xyz decks, Synchro decks, all kinds of stuff, Ritual decks, like Drytrons. So yeah, you can shut down any deck with a single deck. And then the last card, we got Floowandereeze and Scary Sea. The, like, only Fusion decks are not affected by this card. Other than that, really good card. So a lot of you are like, what does this card do? Like, cause it's not a popular Floowandereeze card. Let me read it to you real quick. When your opponent will special summon a monster while you control it, face up tribute summon monster and no special summon monsters, negate the summon, and if you do, return that monster to hand. Also for the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot special summon, and they can conduct up to 3 normal summon sets this turn, not just one. And it's hard once per turn. So, I will talk about this card for a little bit. This card doesn't work. It only works on inherent summons, like Contact Fusions, Synchros, Xyz, Links, or, you know, that says special summon this card from your hand in parentheses. This card works on those. Like, if they activate poorly, you can't respond to that with this. But still, really good card. Like, there's a lot of Link decks, a lot of Xyz decks out there, and this card can basically shut them off. The only downside is that it gives your opponent 3 normal summon sets, but come on. We live in an age where special summon is the main key to winning. What are they gonna do with normal summons unless they're using like Monarchs or another Flu? So yeah, really good card. Now, this was a main deck. As I said, you can count barriers, Dimensional Barrier in 2. I'll make a new deck list, deck profile when I get it. Maybe I'll change something else here. I don't know yet. So it's 38 cards right now, but when I get it, it will be 41. So now, we go to the side deck. First, we got our tokens, just kidding. Okay. First, we got a Big Bird, Floowandereeze, and Snow. Really good card, but I didn't bother to read it. I just keep it in the side. Then, we got Dark Simorgh. This, trap tricks are raising, and if you're playing Flu, you should at least side this card. Like, I was in a tournament today, and I paired up against budget trap tricks. He bought 3 trap trick structure decks and formed a deck from it, just like Team Samurai X1. And I basically shut his entire deck down with this card since he could not set cards. So yeah, really good card against decks like those and like Labyrinth decks too, I guess. Then we got Drone Lockbird. Really good card too. The only bad side is it says send to the graveyard. It doesn't work under Shifter, but if you were not able to resolve Shifter that turn, this is a really good option to stop your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, 3x Veiler. Today, I didn't have Dimensional Barrier, so instead I just put 3 Veiler, and surprisingly they worked out. Really good. I couldn't afford Ash, that's why I played them. 2 Jack in the Hand. Well, Jack is a meh card. I don't know if you guys know what it does, but I'll still read it. Reveal 3 level 1 monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent adds 1 to their hand. You add 1 to your hand. And you shuffle a third into the deck. So, you can reveal Robina, Eaglin, and a Street with it. And there's a high chance that your opponent is gonna pick your Robina. Then you'll pick the Eaglin, and you will shuffle Street. Yeah, but no, I forget what I said. I read it somewhere on the internet, something like that, but I forgot how it went. So yeah, forget what I said. Anyways, moving on. 3 Dark Ruler No More. Really good for game 2. Yeah, it's a staple. There's nothing more I could say. 3x Chalice. When I first formed my deck with the help of a friend, he gave me a list where there was Imperm, and I said I can't afford this, and he said just get a Chalice, and I did. Well, the only downside is you can't activate it from your hand. Attack boost is nothing much. The only downside is you can't activate it from your hand. But if you can afford, as I said in my last deck profile, if I remember correctly, I said it. Get 3 Imperms if you can afford it. Much better. And maybe you can even main them. And finally, we got a Solemn Strike. Just 1 to 2. It's a negate. Then we go to the extra deck. Just fill up your extra deck. Make sure it's 15 cards. It doesn't matter what you put in. Just make sure it's 15 cards so you always have something to feed your pot of extravagance. Just be sure to feed it. Look what I got. I got an Archfiend's Manifestation. I got a Magic Dragon, Trishula, a Harass Velgar, whatever it is, a Pendran Section, Topologic Zeroboros, Onerios, Brother of the Fire Fist, 2014 meta, a Martial Metal Marcher, a Raster Leaguer, a Castell, Earphone, Charge Warrior, High Speed Warrior, Basher, and Transcode Talker. See, they're just random cards. Make sure you filled up to 15 cards. So, yeah, this was my March 5th Floowandereeze deck profile. Thank you for watching. I will make a new video when I get the barriers. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on my next Floowandereeze deck profile. See ya!